بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أما بعد. To continue in the study of تذكرة السامع والمتكلم of Ibn Jamaah rahimahullah, we have reached point number 9 of the author discussing the affair of the student's manners with his teacher and giving the teacher his due right and giving him honor. He says that he should speak well with his teacher in accordance to the best of his capability, and he should not say to him, why, or I don't agree, or we don't agree, or he should not say to him, who reported this, where is it found, and similar to that, by way of i'rad, by way of turning away, or by way of not agreeing with the teacher. Now, this affair of saying things like this to the teacher is because it takes away the correct manners with the teacher. To constantly argue with him and ask him, why do you say this, why that, who reported this, in a way that you are making it seem as if the teacher does not know and trying to belittle the teacher. Rather, you speak to him with manners, and you speak to him in a way which is suitable to speak to him with. You do not try to disrespect him. But if he makes a mistake or something like of that sort, then you make him aware of it with manners, not by this way. As for asking the teacher, where is such and such found, then that is, if it's by way of trying to seek benefit, to know the masadir, the different sources, then there's no problem with that. But if it's by way of trying to oppose him, then that is a problem and is not allowed with the teacher. He said if you want to benefit, you should be gentle in trying to attain that. And then in another sitting it is better and more befitting that you ask by way of benefit. I mean, you do not do so in front of the people. You do not do so in front of the people like that, but you try to seek the benefit elsewhere when you see him in another sitting. He said some of the Salaf said, whoever says to his teacher, lima, why, lam yuflih abadan, he will never be successful. Now, Shaykh Muhammad al-Hajuri mentioned this is not by way of unrestricted, this is not unrestricted, but rather, if it is done by way of asking, by way of trying to seek benefit, or trying to increase in knowledge, and you do it with manners, then it doesn't take away from, it doesn't harm, but if one is doing it by way of trying to oppose the teacher, then yes, it harms. For it's not the right manners with the teacher. He said if the teacher mentions something, do not say to him, this is what I say as well, or this is what I thought, or this is what I heard, or this is how so and so also says, except if the teacher knows of that. And similarly, he should not say so and so says that which is opposite of what you say, and so reported opposite of what you say, or this is not correct and something like that. These are not right to do with the teacher. It's bad manners, let alone with the teacher. If you're to do this with someone who is not a person of knowledge and from the general folk, and he tries to tell you something, you say, yeah, I already know, he will get upset at that and he'll find it disrespectful. Imagine with the teacher's trying to benefit you and give you benefit, and you say to him, yeah, I already know, yeah, that's what I thought too, yeah, that's my opinion as well. No, you take the benefit with manners, and you listen and you comprehend and you understand, and you don't try to always put your input into the affair. He says if the teacher continues upon a statement or an evidence and has not made apparent to him that he's wrong in this affair, or he makes a mistake, you should not change your face or your eyes or indicate towards that as one who is rejecting that which he said, but rather he takes it with a happy face which is apparent, even if his teacher is not correct due to being heedless or forgetting or some form of deficiency. He looks into that affair. For al-isma, not committing any sins, is something which is only for the anbiya, or not committing any mistakes is only something for the anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. As for this affair, then if the teacher makes a mistake which is wrong, then it is not accepted, but one deals with it with manners. One does not go, as some of them do nowadays, go on YouTube and try to refute the teacher. He said such and such, that's it. He's wrong and I'm right and this is my proof and evidence. No. It is dealt with manners and adab. It is not dealt with that which exposes his mistakes for no reason. And this, we're talking about Ahlul Sunnah here. We're not talking about the people of innovation. We're talking about regarding Ahlul Sunnah themselves. Not every mistake that is made is refuted amongst Ahlul Sunnah. Not every mistake which is made is refuted amongst Ahlul Sunnah as such. Rather, there should be some form of advice going back for, especially with the teacher that you are learning from. Also, if one sees that there's a mistake being made and he wants to correct it, perhaps he asks in a form of a question. He says to the teacher, he asks in a form of a question, he corrects him. For perhaps the teacher is forgetful of an evidence at the moment, but when the question is asked in a form of trying to benefit the people, he remembers what is being said to him and he corrects himself. So there's manners in dealing with some of these affairs. If the teacher is making a mistake from that which is apparent, and he is not able to correct himself, except someone asks a question and says, teacher, but such and such, what do you say about this hadith? Or I've heard this hadith and I want to understand it. You may know the answer to it, but you're asking so that you can make him aware of it at the time when he's heedless of it. And at times this is the best way to deal with this affair. As for constantly refuting each other on different issues, he makes a mistake and you just refute him. You have your different gatherings sitting and you say, but the teacher said this and he's mistaken. In a form to belittle him, then this is wrong, this is wrong. And as Shaykh al-Hajuri recently, he mentioned a benefit. He said that I encourage my brothers also, and I repeat, to be calm and have sakina and be accepted upon the good without going into extremes and refutations. He says, leave it. Be accepted upon knowledge without any going into extremes and without refuting everything. Now, a person from Ahlul Sunnah might make a mistake and he's not aware of it, the mistake. You tunabbihu, you clarify to him. And he will take it back, inshallah. But not just one mistake is made and you try to go on WhatsApp and these different affairs and try to refute him. No, it's wrong. That's not the proper adab. Rather, you advise and you seek your advice, or if you're not able to advise, you seek for someone else to advise him who is greater than you in status amongst that individual or that sheikh. And you go like this. There's manners that you deal with these affairs, and it is not something which is dealt with. Every single person deals with it the way they desire. No, rather, these books are written for that reason, so that we deal with these affairs the right way. And he says he should preserve himself from speaking to the teacher with that which he speaks to other people with. And it's not right to speak to the teacher with. Example, he says, Ishbik, what is wrong with you? وَفَهِمْتَ, did you understand? وَسَمِعْتَ, did you hear? وَتَدْرِي, do you know? وَيَا إِنسان, oh human being. And similar to that. He may speak to some of his friends like this, but he should not speak to his teacher like that. It's disrespectful. Similarly, he should not relay to the teacher that which he speaks to others with about that which is not befitting to relate to the teacher. Except if he says, or if you relay something such as a person said to another person, you have little you're little in your uprightness, or you have no good, and similar to that, rather you should say to him by relaying that, is so and so said that he has some form of little righteousness, or that he is far away from good. As well, meaning using speech which is more gentle, and he should protect himself from surprising the teacher by refuting him. For that occurs when people has no manners. So, such as the teacher says, you said such and such, and he says, I didn't say it. The teacher asks you, did you say such and such? He said, no, I didn't say it. Or he says to, the teacher says to him, your intent from the question is such and such, or do you think such and such? He says, no, that's not my intent, or similar to that. These are from bad manners. Imagine in affairs of the dunya, if someone to do this, it is bad manners with them. Now imagine what the teacher is seeking knowledge from. Even the affairs of is seeking knowledge from your teachers in affairs to of the dunya, this occurs. Example of that is, we have a certain individual that we work with. He learns from a mechanic who is higher than him. When he makes a mistake, the teacher says to him, did you do such and such? He says, no, I didn't do it. Right away attacks what the teacher says. his teacher says in teaching him, the teacher finds it disrespectful, and he says to him, listen, I'm asking you properly, did you do such and such? And you reply properly. You don't do it in a way where you make it seem like you are upset or belittling the teacher. Imagine if that's in the affairs of dunya. Imagine the affairs of deen. When you're sitting with the teacher who's benefiting you and you're supposed to attend with manners and adab, then one should have those manners. And rather, he said he should be kind and gentle with dealing with him, and we're replying to the teacher. Similarly, if he asks the teacher asks him a question of agreement, example, he says to him, did you not say such and such, or is this not your intent? He should not reply right away and say, no, that's not my intent. Rather, he should remain silent, think about what he will say, to reply to his teacher gently and calmly, so the teacher understands what he's trying to say. If he is not able to, then he should say, as for me, I say such and such now, or I return to such and such intent, and repeats his speech. He should not say to it, I said it, or I intended it, by way of trying to reply to him in a disrespectful way. So these are affairs of dealing with the teacher and having manners with the teacher, and you find many of us, we are heedless of these affairs, or we have shortcomings regarding these affairs. Your teacher asks you something, and you disrespect him and belittle him, as if you are speaking to your friend, as if you are speaking to your colleague. No, the teacher has a right, and a right to be preserved. You speak to him in a way that shows that you have honor for him, and that you have good manners with him. This is not by way of, some people think that you are belittling yourself and lowering yourself. You're belittling and lowering yourself in this case to benefit from the knowledge that he has. If you do not lower and humble yourself with the teacher, he will not benefit you. So then how is it so that some people, due to the arrogance, they say, I will never do these things. Why? Because I belittle myself. Yes, you have to benefit the knowledge. You have to seek the knowledge of the teacher. You have to show proper manners with the teacher for him to give you the knowledge that he has with him. If not, and you're arrogant, then you will not benefit from this knowledge. You will not benefit from this knowledge, you will not benefit from the teacher, and you will be from those who leave off knowledge fast and not benefit from it. He says similarly, it is better to say in a state of why and we don't agree, to say instead, if it was said to us such and such. Meaning the teacher gives you his position, and you say to him, but teacher, what if it was said to us such and such? What would our reply be? Showing him in a way of manners. Or you say to him, if we are prevented from that, then what do we do? Or if we're asked about such and such, what should we reply? Or if such and such is relayed to us, what do we say? Or similar to that. So that you can understand from your answer what you're trying to get to. And asking him with good manners and with a kind and soft expression. So these are important manners that the author mentions with the teacher. We'll stop with this inshallah today and continue next week. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.